Already. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Let me fix my mic. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the new installment of For the Love. There we go. You know what I mean? Y'all got to make sure, no hands and all that. But y'all already know what time it is. This is the new installment of For the Love. This is your boy Los. And this is episode 67 of For the Love. You know what I'm saying? Before we do get started, you know what I mean? Just want to always thank my supporters. That's my DSP listeners, my YouTube subscribers. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, you already know what to do. You know what I mean? That means go on YouTube and subscribe to the channel that's for the LUV and get people that know people that know people. You know what I mean? And to my new time listeners, my first time listeners, you're definitely welcome. I appreciate it for pulling up. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to talk about, before we do get started as well. Again, as always, got to thank my people. And it's Father's Day weekend officially, so very excited for that. You know what I'm saying? For all my 9-to-5ers, even if you're not a father, it's probably, just a good day to not be at work. And for my people that's looking for Juneteenth, because Juneteenth is that following Wednesday after the Sunday of Father's Day on the 16th. So that's just another day off of work, you know what I mean? But of course, to all my fathers out there, man, you know what I'm saying? Just definitely want to show love to y'all, especially my black fathers that's just doing this shit. You know what I mean? It's just doing what we got to do, and even if you get another pair of socks, that's probably the best pair of socks you can get because it's from your loved ones, But this weekend, man, just is looking forward to being around, good people that we love or that I love and trust, you know what I mean? And just good atmosphere and good space because, For the Love is about positivity. It's about progression. And it's about ducking all the fuckery, you know what I mean? Because outside is just a bunch of bullshit. So if it ain't about love, you know what I'm saying, and just being around good space, then all that other shit is irrelevant, But yeah, man, so like Father's Day weekend, this 16th is definitely, something I'm looking forward to, just to be out and being around good people and just taking the time to just, dwell on certain shit, you know what I mean? Seeing my little one do his thing is just crazy, just to see a little you is just wild in itself. But it's a day to reflect, man, and as fathers we definitely deserve that. So just want to make sure that we are in this podcast, in this episode per se, giving flowers to the fathers out there and in any other day, because it shouldn't just take Father's Day to get that type of love, you feel me? And even again, if you get socks or if you get some macaroni type of plates, just embrace it, you understand? But we here, man. Like I said, FTL for the love, 67 has been it's been a light week for me, just like I said, besides getting ready for Father's Day, been just watching, been able to see a couple things. Like I know a lot of people, what I want to start with, a lot of people was talking about Bad Boys 4 with, Martin and Will Smith, and haven't honestly gotten to get to watch the movie. So I know y'all was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? As far as if I had any thoughts about it, I definitely need to see it this current weekend coming up so I can give y'all like an honest review of it. But from the promo that they've been doing, because they've been doing extensive promo, it should be a great product. I'm hearing great things about it. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been all around the world doing every single platform that you can think of in terms of promoting this movie. So this shit should be no less than a number one movie, you know what I mean? And from a quality standpoint, it should definitely be in correlation to what they're promoting, because goddamn, like I seen Will Smith on the Hot Wing shit. They done did, this type of platform. They done did Breakfast Club. They done did everything you can think of, man. But Yeah, so that's one of my personal goals that I'm gonna try to do within the weekend is watch that just to get a full understanding and feeling of how that movie is, you know what I'm saying? But cuz if y'all really know me, I don't really watch, television or like movies like that. I'm really like like a, a under the rock type of motherfucker, so I really don't really gravitate to that type of shit. Now, of course, besides like the obvious like Power series, and lately I've been getting into the Shy. So for all my TV folks, I know people that been watching that. That's definitely something I've been catching up on lately, and I ain't gonna lie, the Shy's kind of hard. Like I've been up to date with that, and just to see everybody in the Shy atmosphere as far as like the audience not fucking with Duda, it's kind of like funny to me because that's how when you have one of those characters, just like when motherfuckers won't fucking with Ghost and Power, that you have a really heavyweight motherfucker, because when you can make the whole audience not fuck with you, then you doing your job right. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I don't really have a vendetta on Duda. Like I could see him getting murked at some fucking point, but he's doing what he got to do to make his character stick. You feel me? And like the shot, yeah, that's really about it, man. It's just a bunch of it's a bunch of other storylines, and in summary, I do like the fact that they keeping it Chicago. You know what I'm saying? It's very homegrown. Like damn near about every actress or actor in that show is from and raised in Chicago. So I thought that was dope. And you know what I mean? And then like I said with the Power series, like I'm hyped that they, even though they're ending and canceling the Power Book 2 with Tariq, I'm hyped that they came back with that season because it's been long awaited. And I guess it's bittersweet because at the same time, I understand eventually getting rid of the show or canceling it because you don't want to do what Power did in terms of like doing 9 or 6, 7, 8 seasons and it gets diluted. But at the same time, they wait to pull that plug once like the show in my eyes finally got to that point to where we can finally see Tariq like become himself and really just be like a freelancer and not be tied to anything. Like he's at this point now, he is him against everybody. So I feel like the moment we as fans and audience got to that point, that's when they pulled the plug. You know what I mean? But either way, episode 1 was fire off rip. They started, the aftermath from the last episode of the last season. And we saw, Tariq and Braden be Navy SEALs and shit, which is crazy. And I could see why they canceling the shit because it's like, from a budget standpoint, motherfuckers was going at war with, Louis Vuitton beanies and shit while holding, AR. So I thought that was crazy. But other than that, I thought it's, going off to a hell of a start, you know what I'm saying? And like when this episode comes out, episode 2 would have been dropped as well. And it was definitely another great episode. So not to get into depth with the episode, but, it's off to a great start to me, in my opinion. We only 2 episodes deep and they're creating storylines, even though I will say his name is Detective Carter, played by Michael Ealy. That nigga came out of nowhere. Like I don't like all these Power seasons from every spinoff and show that we seen, we always seen these type of cops between, Angela and Greg and motherfucking, I forgot the other Cooper Sacks. Like these all these avenues of cops that went their way in trying to get Tariq into St. Patrick's, and the shit never worked or they got killed. But this motherfucker just came out the gate on some thug shit, and it's like, I think that's kind of hilarious because the only thing I can see from Michael Ealy right now is the nigga from Barbershop. You know what I mean? But that's to each his own, and I'm gonna leave that alone. But I'm trying to get y'all, because I'm trying to just give y'all like an insight of like what I be looking through. You feel me? So like another thing Cause like I said, I don't watch TV like that. Besides like Power and The Shy, BMF just went off with their season, you know what I'm saying? And, besides all the thug shit, I did, of course, watch the Ray J interview on Shannon Sharp. Cause like outside of TV, I really watch like, interviews and pods on YouTube. So I definitely check that. A lot of people know my respect and love that I got for Ray J. He's definitely top 5 in this culture. You feel me? That's that's another conversation. But when that popped off, niggas was hitting me left and right like, yo, Ray J, did you see Ray J on Shannon Sharp? You know what I mean? And he also said something about Tyrese, which was crazy because niggas hit me on that. Like, yo, did you see what Ray J said about Tyrese? Because niggas who don't know about the love and respect that I got for the god Tyrese. He's another top 5 nigga in this culture shit. You feel me? But, I'm going to leave that alone. Django audition tape. Just check that out on YouTube. I'm going to leave it at that. But Ray J on Shannon Sharp, I watched that and I was definitely crying for the full duration of the interview. Now, one thing about the interview that was telling is that Shannon Sharp is really a bad interviewer. You know what I mean? He's definitely one of them type of interviewers where he'll grab like the general question from like most of the average fan, and then he'll ask it and just like try to abuse it. Cause like in this one, he kept like, for some reason, I don't know what his infatuation was with like him with Ray J and Brandy, but he kept trying to bring Brandy, like he kept just asking Ray J about how was it being Brandy's brother, how was it being Brandy. It was like, bro, like he's doing job interview questions where he's asking the same shit like 8 times. So I thought that was crazy. But the part where like Ray J said how him and the actor that played Miles and Moesha was coming together to do a Power book series was hilarious. I was crying. And then, they asked him about the Kim Kardashian situation where he said he can only remember the smell. I thought that was kind of funny because it's like, how the fuck do, you know what I mean? But like, it was just hilarious. But, again, Ray J is one of the ones. I think he's a legend and shit. Like, at the end of the day, he took Whitney from Bobby. I mean, how many niggas took Whitney from Bobby? You feel me? Like, but shout out to Shannon Sharp because, again, it's not that we hate Shannon Sharp. We respect Shannon Sharp. Like, ever since the Cat Williams interview that set the tone for this whole year, he definitely solidified himself in the podcast / media space. So he's definitely one of the ones. He's already solidified in the ESPN space. He just signed a multi-million-dollar deal with ESPN, so he's definitely locked in with Stephen A. and the First Take crew. And as far as the media platform, he's now one of those algorithms where it's like you have to or you want to now go to a Club Shay Shay interview. You know what I'm saying? Because after the Cat Williams one, that kind of set the tone for damn near everybody. Like we seen Ray J, for example, Glorilla, Amanda Seales just pulled up, Gary Owens, like I can go on and on. Of course, the Moniques. So, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. But to me, I would put them in the same boat as like Drink Champs as far as interviewing, where their interviewing skills is just terrible. Like, you know what I mean? But, what else? Because, again, this is what I've been seeing and watching throughout the week. Outside the Ray J one, I did catch the Kai Cenat / Kevin Hart / Drewski stream, a.k.a. the World Breaking stream, where they had just about 800,000 viewers live, which broke the world record. Now that shit was hilarious. And for people who don't know, this stream from the Kevin Hart and Kai Cenat stream the past week. So when that popped off, I definitely tuned in for that. And that was just like watching two of the same motherfuckers. Like one is an older guy and the other is a younger cat, but they both had the same personality. And then this one was the sleepover. So you had Drewski, Kai, and Kevin staying over at Kai's crib, and they did an overnight stream from that point, which eventually broke the record from that point. So that was hilarious. Now, I didn't watch the whole shit because the stream started at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and to my knowledge, it ended around like sometime during the afternoon the following day. And I watched some of it, but for the most part, I was able to just go back and catch clips. And when I tell you I was crying, I never laughed so damn hard in my life because it was just funny to see all of them get together. Like, you know, they did the whole throwing the water on the motherfuckers going to sleep. You know, Drewski saying they had bed bugs in the carpet, and they just had like talent come over and they did, you know, things like that. And they was just making jokes. The funniest part was when Kevin FaceTimed LeBron, and LeBron pretty much said nigga on the pod, on the stream, and Drewski and Kai was so tweeted out about it, and Drewski saying shit like, yo, I didn't even think Bron said the N-word. I thought you just played basketball. I thought that shit was funny as hell. But again, that's for all the for the younger crowd. I know like the older generation, they don't really gravitate to that type of shit because that's not their cup of tea. But at the end of the day, that's definitely the new algorithm, and it's dope to that point to see people like Kevin Hart's, who's at this big magnitude, to pull up at that moment and situation and give love and just blend in rather than, you know, not respecting what the algorithm is now, because that's how the culture grows, where you understand your place and still be able to collaborate with the younger generation and only big it up from that point. You know what I'm saying? So definitely shout out to Kevin Hart for that, and shout out to Drewski as well, being one of the other young cats that's like hilarious as fuck, because like he's funny as hell. And you know what I mean, that was just a brief recap of the shit that I watched through from the couple past days, excuse me, because I don't watch TV like that. Like I said, man, like I'm at the crib, I mind my fucking business. You know, I scroll through the socials, I see what the socials is talking about, and I do what I got to do. You know what I mean? And now we here, and I'm talking to y'all about the shit that I do. So without y'all, I wouldn't be doing this shit, because who the fuck wants to hear this shit? You feel me? But NBA Finals, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Let's get into the NBA Finals, because damn, like 3-0 is crazy. And for the people who don't know, this is the NBA Finals basketball, Boston Celtics versus the Dallas Mavericks. Now, as far as the country, the U.S. stands, going into the finals, majority, besides the state of Massachusetts, was going for Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Just off the underdog strength and more so fandom of Luka and Kyrie. No disrespect and hate towards Tatum and Jaylen Brown on the Boston side, but, you know, just rooting for the underdog, and just off the strength of what Dallas did to Minnesota and getting them out of there in 5 games, we kind of had that feeling like, okay, this about to be one of the ones. But now, as we're speaking, and by the time this episode comes out, we more than likely may have a champion, and that champion is going to be the Boston Celtics. In my personal opinion, I think Boston Celtics is going to close it out Friday night or tonight. It would be it should, at like I said, at this point when the episode comes out, Friday night will already pass. So once this episode comes and y'all hear this, I feel like we will have an NBA champion, and the Boston Celtics will be the champions, a la sweep of the Dallas Mavericks on their court. You know what I'm saying? Because the past couple games has been kind of wild. Like the first two, of course, was in Boston, being that Boston was the number 1 seed. And by the time it got to game 3, which was this past Wednesday night, I had a feeling that Dallas was going to turn it up and at least get one at the crib, being that it was returning in Dallas, and it would have been a 2-1 situation going into game 4. But when the game was going on and I'm realizing that Boston was still right behind Dallas, even after Dallas had a turn first quarter, and mind you, Boston didn't even have Porzingis, which was their X factor player. So once Porzingis, who had decent games on the first 2 games, got hurt, that's when people felt like Dallas can level the field and still won at the crib, and it would have been a series. But now once Boston took the game 3, it kind of deflated the whole series at this point, and now it's looking like a sweep. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's kind of similar to the '07 Cavs with Bron going to his first finals, where he took that Cavs team to the championship to face the Spurs. And as talented as LeBron was, it wasn't enough to dethrone or beat the San Antonio Spurs with Duncan, Ginobili, Parker, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? Now, even though Dallas, in comparison, is a better team than that Cavs team, you only really have Luka and Kyrie, and outside of that, you just have a group of guys in comparison to Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Derek White, Drew Holiday, Al Horford, Porzingis. Prior to him getting hurt, you have damn near 4, 5, 6 options on that team. And even if you watch the whole NBA season and you watch the Celtics and how they steamrolled this whole year, like damn near every game you watch the Celtics play this season, they blowed teams out, and it was just no competition. They probably had like a handful of close games. So you saw Boston being the favorites all season, and now it's just reflective to the type of year they had. That's why I always said if it was no championship this year for Boston, it was a complete failure, because it's championship or bust. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I said, all that being said, for the gamblers, it's definitely one more game at least. I know the gamblers is wanting at least another one, but I think it's a wrap, because once it's 3-0, like they said, it is no recollection of a team coming back and winning a series being down 0-3. And this is definitely not going to be one of the ones. But big fan of Luka, man. Big fan of Kyrie, one of my favorite players. But it's just not it. And at this point, I'm low key disappointed, because I wanted to see a competitive series. I guess like I wanted to see like a 2-1 game 6, game 7 type of energy. But I guess the better team wins, and it is what it is, man. So, and at this point, we're just gonna get ready for football, because baseball is like year long. That shit is from April to fucking October, damn near November. But in a couple months and 2, we gonna have football season with college football, then the NFL. You already know what time it is with my Ravens. Shout out to Raven Nation. Shout out to the flock. We start the season with the Chiefs. You know what I mean? But until then, y'all won't hear me talk about football, because I don't want to get hyped. But that's the sports section for y'all, man. Because like I said, it's definitely been just the finals. You know what I'm saying? So that's really it on that. But besides the sports, you got let me make sure, because I don't want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we talked about the sports, but music, duh. What would I be? What would this pod be without music? Because For the Love is a unofficial music podcast. We always talk about the culture, but I always got to talk about music, because without music, we wouldn't have none of this shit. That's just how I see it. But like I said in the beginning, we are approaching Father's Day weekend. You know what I'm saying? So that means positivity, great space, great energy, vibes, all that. No negativity, great music, great sound. And right after Father's Day, on Hump Day on the 19th, we have Juneteenth, which is supposed to be, I guess, their version. And when I say their, I mean the country's version of celebrating our history. And regardless of how you look at Juneteenth, even if you're a 9 to 5 and you just see it as another day off, either way, that's another day of celebrating the culture and celebrating just being around good family vibes, etc., and also good music. Also on Juneteenth, we have Kendrick Lamar, who just so happens to pop out in LA that day with a concert, blessing the culture and the people. And thankfully, for the people who's not able to make it because everybody is not in LA, they will stream that event on Amazon Prime. So I'm definitely hyped and excited to see that, because if that nigga comes out in LA, and perform not like us or shit, even Euphoria or one of the motherfuckers, that shit is going to be a moment. That's like when Nas performed Ether at I think it was the Radio City Hall. Don't quote me on that. But that day, like that moment in time, back in 01 and 02 when Ether came, or 2000 when Ether dropped, and he performed it live after the fact, that shit was crazy. So when Kendrick comes out and performs one of those records while just being outside in the hometown crib, and in my opinion, I feel like this is where we're going to get a Black Hippie reunion. I think he's going to unify the West in so many ways, because I think we're going to see a lot of West Coast legends in the building. We're going to see a Black Hippie reunion. We're going to see, Mustard confirmed his presence there. So I feel like we're going to hear Not Like Us, because again, Mustard is another West Coast nigga. So I could see him pulling up off the strength of West Coast and West Coast energy, but him being there and Kendrick being there, I only see that record being performed. And that shit is going to be a moment in time. Because at the end of the day, not to make this a Drake Kendrick podcast, but the nigga Drake lost. However you feel, it's okay. It's cool. But the boy lost. He's still Drake. And at the end of the day as well, for the third time, Juneteenth is going to be a historic moment as far as 2024. Mark that down now. And besides that, hopefully from that, we do get a new body of work from Kendrick, whether if it's an EP, another album, something that's like, just bars related. I hope we do get something with this momentum, because he's, used to going back in the shell, being himself, which I respect. But with this type of momentum, I hope he just gives us something like a body of work to just go through and just enjoy for another 2 years, and then he can duck from that point. You know what I'm saying? Because all he gives us is quality, and that's what we want. But again, Juneteenth is the pop-out show, and it will be streamed on Amazon Prime. I'm not sure the time. I think it's like 7, 8 o'clock, and that's Eastern Standard Time, because they're in the West Coast, so that's going to be Pacific, and that's going to be 3 hours before. But definitely stay tuned for that. And pretty much with new music, Larry June came out with a single. It's really nothing with music that I haven't really been paying attention to be completely honest. I'm still listening to recent drops. I'm still listening to Rhapsody's album, which I think is very underrated. A lot of people was not talking about her album. She has just about 26 records, if I'm not mistaken, but this is her personal album. You know what I'm saying? Where she's really like giving you more than just bars. So like that's definitely one album that I would kind of put in my album of the year contender. I still got Schoolboy Q as far as Blue Lips up there as far as rap album of the year. But these are just the albums that I'm currently listening to now as far as at the moment, because nothing new to my knowledge that dropped. Let me make sure because I don't really see anything for real. But Schoolboy Q, definitely forgot about Sir. That's that's a potential classic. That shit is hard body. You know what I'm saying? Definitely Rap City. You know what I mean? A lot of dope shit, and just getting ready for the Kendrick pop out show because that's going to be a moment in time. I think Juneteenth 2024 might go down as another important date in hip hop history, just like May 3rd of 2024 was, and both was responsible through Kendrick and also Drake, you know what I'm saying, because he participated, you know what I'm saying, but definitely in that regard, one of the dope records. And let me see, man, because I really think that's about it for music. I don't want to barrage y'all with some shit and just start rambling, you know what I'm saying, because that's what it really sounds like. And I'm starting to get kind of hungry, you feel me? I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, but let's see. We went through Father's Day, talked about the Ray J, Shannon Sharp, went through the NBA Finals, Kendrick Pop Out Show, Kai, Kevin, and Drewski stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might be one of the ones, man, because, you know, again, this is Father's Day weekend, bro. Like, you know, like I wanted to give the people, the good brothers and sisters, some content to listen to during the weekend. You know what I'm saying? But I'm feeling matched. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's that's something that I forgot to mention as far as music. It was Common and Pete Rock. Like, boy, Common and Pete Rock got some shit that's coming. They got a record called Dreaming, and that shit is god body hard. Like, the Pete Rock instrumentals, like at the end of the day, it's Pete Rock. So Pete Rock beats doesn't surprise me, but at the same time, just to hear some shit is just like, it's incredible. But their first single off their new album is called Dreaming, and they did a live performance of it, and the beat matching with Common's vocals was just mind-blowing. And the album is called The Auditorium Volume 1, and it's set to be released July 12th. So they're definitely in the promo stage of it. And from that single that I heard, it's definitely like a beautiful marriage. Because for people who didn't know or don't know, as far as Common and Pete Rock, this is not their first time collaborating. Pete Rock definitely produced The Bitch and You from Common. That was the diss towards Cube and the West Side Connection. So we definitely heard what a Pete Rock sound is with Common, you know what I'm saying? So this album is definitely one of the ones, and it's always dope to see our legends and God MCs at that still barring motherfuckers up, you know what I mean? Because outside of Common and Pete Rock, LL dropped some shit with Ross and Fat Joe, and that shit is hard too, you know what I'm saying? So definitely shout out to L, because lately I've been seeing him on NCIS. So it's kind of, I'm one of the ones, don't get me wrong, that remembers L for L. Like, he's the GOAT. Like, he coined the GOAT as far as rap. You know, Muhammad Ali coined GOAT as far as the sports. But, like, as far as hip hop and rap, LL coined that. So, you know what I mean? Definitely shout out to that. And that's what I forgot to mention as far as music, you know what I'm saying? Because that's definitely, like, I ain't want to forget that, because I want people to check out The Auditorium Volume 1, and Pete Rock and Common is definitely talking that shit. But now that I got that out the way, you know, because I feel better about that, it's, again, like I said, it's not really that much, you know, that I can go through. You know, definitely no Caitlin Clark talks on this one for y'all. Sorry. You we definitely talked about the NBA Finals on the sports side, but I don't want to talk about no Caitlin Clark. You know what I'm saying? On the women side, definitely shout out to the women because it's just beautiful to see the attention that the WNBA is getting off the strength of the new talent, not just Caitlin Clark coming in, but just something that they should have been got because they had legends in the past that could have garnered the same attention that this person is bringing. So no energy or initiative to even speak on Caitlin Clark at this point because what the fuck is there to talk about? I could talk about the Olympic situation like they want me to. And at the end of the day, I will say this, and that's just if they felt that the better team was to not include her, then that's just all it's about. For the people that's focusing on the marketing standpoint, is not the Olympic Committee's job to market the WNBA. Now, I understand that point in argument, but again, it's not the Olympic Committee's job and responsibility to uplift the WNBA. Their sole job is to create the best possible team. You know what I mean? So, and you have to take account that the Kelsey Plums, for instance, and other players, this is their first time in the Olympics, and they're seasoned vets. So if that's their first time, then you have to just put that into hindsight with Caitlin Clark and just allow her to grow her game and become the person that people are building her up to be. You know what I mean? But shout out to Caitlin Clark because this is not I Hate Caitlin Clark podcast. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't got time to deal with her fan base. And it's all about the sport. And if you're a true fan about the game of basketball or the game of sports in general, then you would just respect everybody's path and just let them be. You know what I mean? But that being said, I will say I got finesse because even though I said I won't go talk about Caitlin Clark, I started talking about Caitlin Clark. But you know what I mean? That's really, I think, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. That's about it for me. Like, I'm gonna get to this weekend, man. Like I said, for the third, fourth, fifth time, I'm just trying to get around some good energy, man. It's definitely hot as shit outside, so y'all make sure y'all stay on y'all aguas, you know what I'm saying? Definitely wash your ass, because the hotter it gets, the more exposure comes out of it. And if you're not washing your ass, it's going to come out, my nigga. Like, somebody beside you is going to smell it. And if you don't smell it yourself, then that's a problem right there. You need to look yourself in the mirror and understand that you are a menace to society at this fucking point. You understand? But definitely be safe out there, you know what I mean? Definitely hug your loved ones, brush your teeth. First and foremost, floss between your gums, you know what I mean? And brush your tongues, because I'm tired of y'all breath smelling like old Timberlands. You feel me? But again, and I'll say this lastly, and again, not even just on Father's Day, but every day of the year, 365, we definitely celebrating the fathers, especially this weekend. Salute to all my poppies out there, all my pops, my daddies, whatever they call it. Pause, no pause, because it's dad talk, you feel me? All y'all beloveds, hold y'all head up. Y'all doing a great job, you feel me? I definitely can't wait to just smell my little one and just be around vibes, man, and just enjoy our space and just enjoy what we created and see life just be life and just be curious and be experimental and be not knowing, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a beauty in innocence, you know what I'm saying? And as long as we allowing the innocent to be innocent, then that's all it's about, you know what I mean? And of course, always, hug your loved ones, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the mamas out there, but this is about the daddies, you feel me? We celebrate y'all every other day. Let this weekend be our day, you know what I'm saying? And even though we appreciate the socks and the white tees, let us get a spa day, you know what I mean? Let us get a, you know what I'm saying, a steak dinner, you feel me? Like, and I'm not talking about the Salisbury steaks, you know what I mean? I'm talking about the T-bones, the seasoned junks with the mashed potatoes and the mac and cheese and the aguas or the juice or the beverage, and all my liquor drinkers, get towed up with a shot, you know what I mean? But enough is enough, man. Just wanted to send my flowers to the pops out there, you know what I mean? Happy Father's Day to y'all, and happy Juneteenth for the people and beloveds that's celebrating as well. Even if you're a 9-to-5 again, happy day off, because that damn hits more than anything else, and you deserve that day off, my brother, because all we do is work. But make sure we just don't work, pay bills, and die. You understand? Definitely experiment shit, live your life, and be peaceful, man. But like I said, this is episode 67. And this is for the love. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. And y'all check out superclothing.com. That's super SUUPA clothing.com. Shout out to my brother Pat. Y'all pull up and check out his merch. And also check out the official For the Love merch, man. It's hot. We got tees. And if you want a hoodie, we got hoodies, but we got t-shirts because it's damn near hot as a bitch outside. I don't know. Probably the young niggas is still wearing hoodies with the shiesties. I might just do a shiesty line. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I might go platinum if I do a shiesty line. You know what, Pat? I'm gonna hit you up, my nigga, because I'm about to do shiesties. But on that note, man, I'm gonna stop playing with y'all, man. I'm about to check out. I'm about to get something to eat. You know what I mean? But this is officially, like I said, 67, 67. And y'all take it easy out there, man. It's your boy. God bless.